Let's listen.
And one could say that it is the authentic return to the homeland of children, of boys and girls. The future of our country is there, and they come with the same beautiful laughter of children, of those girls and boys asking for their grandparents, and so they will be directly taken to their homes by the security forces. They will bring them to their homes, they will return them to their homes and their families, and we will be witnessing that first hug of the sons and daughters that never should have departed, because they have always been here in our homeland. How many children were coming along? 21 children travel by themselves, but the majority of them have their relatives who are waiting for them to receive them and to take them to their homes. Some of them send their children, and they will be received by their parents or grandparents, families duly accredited. How many Venezuelans are left in Mexico? Well, there we opened in the embassy a space for the attention of all Venezuelans. They go there and register, and so as far as we have Venezuelans there, we send the plane and we bring them back. Well, we can deal with the Mexican government because it's a respectful administration, and so the Conviasa Air Police will go there and return the Venezuelans to their homeland. So of these 311, there were, well, all of them are going to be interviewed. Some of them didn't make to arrive to the United States because the authorities didn't let them in, and some paid them to the coyotes, and the coyotes left them abandoned to their fate. Some even were kidnapped in the Darien Gap, and they called their families here, and that their families must have delivered some money to be able to send them. But thanks God, and thanks to the Bolivarian Revolution, and thanks to the return to the homeland plan, they are here, and for this special plan. So Venezuela didn't want it to compromise. Well, the United States is really confused because the United States said that they will send us the Tren de Aragua gun, and they haven't fulfilled it. When they are ready, we are just ready. But they have a problem there of information of what they brought, because you know what, many of the ones kidnapped in El Salvador, they were deceived by telling them that they were coming to Venezuela, and they were sent to El Salvador because they were allegedly accused of being of the Tren de Aragua. What they were expected, that the Venezuelan government claimed that all belonged to the Tren de Aragua. It is not Venezuela acting like this, because we won't accuse anyone without the duly crimes. And if they are of the Tren de Aragua, why didn't they judge them there? Because they are kidnapped in El Salvador. If they committed a crime in the United States, they must be judged in the United States. And they haven't committed any crimes in El Salvador, and they are kidnapped there. And that must be the news worldwide. The Venezuelans kidnapped in El Salvador. Anyone who treats them like this is seeing another movie, because these partners who have been kidnapped in El Salvador by President Bukele have families here, and have people who have been showing their solidarity with them, marching and signing to denounce to the world what is happening with Venezuelans, men and women, thanks to the application of the anachronical law of 1798. To them, you could say that God is seeing them and they will bring to justice, because that could not go unpunished against a crime against people. They promoted migrations, they paid coyotes, and they are sending them to prisons as a big part of business. The human trafficking, some of them, well, the human trafficking is the most lucrative, is one of the third most lucrative business in the world, with billions of dollars. How much money they will gain after having mistreated and taken to Venezuelans to the situation they are. Fortunately, they are coming back today, and once get joy with the laughter of children of coming back to their homeland, which will always receive them warmly with hugs. So there are by coincidence, there is coming a girl that is a sister of the four brothers that were taken to El Salvador. Well, look at what are Venezuelans, the ones that were coming. No one asked for them. They asked for those Venezuelans who are kidnapped there in El Salvador, that the government mustn't them left them by themselves, and we won't rest till we get them back, because the return home plan is active every day. So when they want, we want. The important thing is not communications. The important thing is that Venezuelans return. If we just want them to come back. Well, you said that on the last flight there were, well, in this flight there isn't any people from Colombia, but we just received them as brothers, because we don't persecute anyone here. They didn't have a crime in Venezuela, and so we just delivered them to the Colombian authorities, and they are right now with their families. So are there guarantees for, well, you know that the kidnappers are the kidnappers. We have a group of attorneys there acting there in El Salvador, and we hope that all this international pressure that are just denouncing the kidnapping of Venezuelans, that are in the concentration camp in 2025, that works out and they deliver us the Venezuelans, because all of these the Venezuelans didn't commit any crime in El Salvador. If anyone who have been, why if they committed a crime in the United States, why didn't they brought them to justice? It's a lie. So they said that they were allegedly from the Tren de Aragua, but I can demonstrate you that they don't belong to the Tren de Aragua. They don't have criminal records, and so they are just at the order of the justice from all the groups coming from Mexico and other flights. We don't have complicity with any groups, but we won't accept any mistreatment of Venezuelans, and we will raise our voices ahead of anyone, because Venezuela must be respected, and not only respected, because that's when the allegation is coming. Some sectors welcome those actions of the United States, but those are not Venezuelans, because Venezuelans are being humiliated, and those who don't feel sympathy of the pain of the families that are suffering for those of El Salvador, they are hardly Venezuelans, because that abusive use of the force, we are just denouncing it in the world. The United Nations may do nothing, but the international community must know that Venezuelans are being kidnapped, are being persecuted in El Salvador and in the United States, and the migration is not a crime.
We were